Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Due to weather circumstances, we have to read this. So let me know if you guys can hear, if the sound is coming through. Okay, just let me know in the chat if you can hear me, because I'm device. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, so wa alaikum assalam and Fado. Alright, so Alhamdulillah that Allah has given us Islam. Many of us, take this Islam for granted, and we don't realize how important Islam is in our lives. But the reality is that we only truly appreciate Islam when we see everything else and all the flaws everything else has, and we see the perfection that Allah has given us in Islam. And this is why it's, always we should make thanks to Allah. Allah has given us faith, Iman, and we stay Muslim as well. And whether a person is educated, uneducated, in whatever situation, a person will always realize, the importance of belief in the Creator. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Sheikh, you good? We got a meeting. So you see the importance of being a Muslim. A lot of people who are elderly people will know the importance of the values of Islam. It's the values, the morals, these kind of things. Elderly people see a lot. And young people, unfortunately, because they're distracted by so many things in life, they don't seem to see the importance of the values that Islam brings. Because young people want things quickly, they want things short term, they want things on the spot. And unfortunately, Islam is not designed for immediate gratification. It always gives you, but it gives you when the time is right. Yeah, having, halal earnings, having a family, covering your body, your aura, your nakedness. All these things, Islam encourages these things, promotes these things, because these are the things that really produce a good, healthy society. And if you take these things out, all the things that Islam has given us, you start, problems the society will suffer because of that. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. So if you guys have any questions or anything, you can ask your questions, hopefully. Is this working? What flavor ice cream? This is basically, I don't know what these are called. Yeah. So this is pineapple. Yeah, it's pineapple. It doesn't taste like pineapple, but they call it pineapple. I don't know. So, I don't know, are you guys eating ice cream as well? Okay, so Alhamdulillah, inshallah, this weekend I'm going to be going abroad. I'm going to be going hopefully to Palestine, to Masjid al-Aqsa, inshallah. So make dua, inshallah, that makes it easy. And is there anyone else that is going abroad as well? If there is, then let us know. Okay, so so regarding the Surah Mulk, so I'm supposed to be continuing it. I'm thinking I might do some from Palestine. If I can do it from Masjid Aqsa, I might continue over there. So just be alert. Hopefully, if there's a good internet signal there, and if there's not, then I'll probably just have to record it and then upload it. Yeah, Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. So hopefully okay, what's the difference between Habib and Labib? So in Arabic, Habib means someone who is beloved, Labib means someone who's intelligent. Yeah, Habib and Labib. So Habib, or if you got two brothers and one's called Habib, one's called Labib, then they're two brothers. But normally Habib and Labib in Arabic mean beloved and intelligent. Someone who's beloved and intelligent. Okay, Jazakallah khair. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so I'm going to try to make some more of those videos, inshallah. The thing is, having fixed times where I do that is a bit difficult. So I'm just thinking, if I come back, maybe I might start some more lessons on that. Or I could just finish off in Masjid Al-Aqsa. Yeah, hopefully I'll try that. Try to finish off in Masjid Al-Aqsa, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, possibly. I'm going to be coming to London to do a talk. I don't know what day it is. Yeah, in London near the end of August. Yeah, near the end of August, I'm coming to London to give a talk anyway. But yeah, if then why not? And I've got free time, then maybe possibly, inshallah. Only problem is the traveling to London. It depends which part of London. Okay, any other questions anyone has? So was it thundering last night as well? I can't remember if it's thundering last night. But yeah, the thunder has been quite scary these days, huh? Yeah, East London. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, East London. It's possible. Yeah, so I think yesterday it was thundering in up north, but in Birmingham I don't think it was thundering that much. A bit of rain, but the weather's been very hot. This is a hot weather. I mean, this kind of weather it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Okay, Sunny Black has got a question. Is working for HMRC as tax collector haram and interest on debts due on tax? So basically, this whole concept of tax it's like a long topic. This is because the idea of in Islam, you owing money is always based upon something which is in return for something else. So, for instance, or a gift of some sort. So that's why the whole issue of tax, is tax halal? Is it permissible to force people to take a certain percentage or amount of their wealth? So generally, if it's dhulman, if it's oppressive, then it's not allowed. The government can't do it, but it's to strengthen the country. So the money is being used for education and hospitals. I mean, in England, if it wasn't for tax, NHS wouldn't be functioning. Yeah, and if it wasn't for tax, schools wouldn't have free schools and all that. So the tax money is actually is being pumped back into the system. So this is why when there's things like debts, debts on tax you haven't paid. I haven't really looked into it, but tax itself, there is scope for it. So yeah, working for, I mean, I've got a brother that works for HMRC. Yeah, so yeah, it's fine. But the debts on the tax, I don't exactly know how that is, how that works. Is it permissible for men to wear mehndi on their hands? Some communities do wear it. I remember in Pakistan there was some communities that used to put mehndi on their hands, like big blobs of mehndi or something, or on their fingertips. It's all to do with tradition, really. So if there is a tradition where they do wear it, then there's scope for it, permissibility. Otherwise, if it's something which is only something that women do, then emulating women is wrong. Shouldn't emulate them, shouldn't imitate women in that. the kind of like intricate designs that they have, that wouldn't be allowed, because that is clearly something that only women do. But if it was something like, some guys have, like me, LZ, Mendi design on my hand, or stuff like that, then there isn't any problem with that. Any other question? So today I've got badminton again. Alhamdulillah, back to the routine. So could you explain the hadith when the Prophet said, "La laki sadaqa wa lana hadiyah"? So there is a hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came and there was a woman there, and basically her name was Barira, and she was the slave woman of Aisha radiallahu anha, and she had some meat that was cooking, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would rarely eat meat because he didn't really have the luxury of meat. So when he saw this, he said, like, he was kind of interested in it. So she said, no, you can't eat it because it's sadaqah that was given to us. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said to the lady, he said, for you it's sadaqah, but when you give it to us, it's going to be treated as a gift. So many of the scholars of ruling, the changing of ruling. So that's why, if you have zakat money, let's say, and you give a poor person zakat money who's eligible, and then that poor person next day does a dinner for you, using the zakat that you gave, he does a dinner for you. Are you allowed to eat that food? So yes, you can, because now transfer of ownership has taken place. Transfer of ownership. Okay, what should parents do in regards to the SRE curriculum introduced in schools? It will be compulsory in 2020. I've spoken to a lot of Muslim parents through Facebook. Most of them people are happy. I don't know, I don't really know about the RSC and how this is all going to work. Because there's lots of things, rumors going around, and there's kind of a reality as well. So I don't know exactly how the RSC works and what will be law, and but I think Muslims, there are some Muslims out there who are very clued up about this. So maybe get in contact with them and ask them. Interest is added to any outstanding tax when it becomes overdue at 3.25% plus penalties. So this, like, Islamically, this wouldn't be called interest. Like, this wouldn't come under riba per se. So that's different, that is. So in Islam, when the English say like interest, not all English interest is riba basically. So they just use map with Islamic terms. So I'm not too familiar with how the tax penalties work. But like I said, if you look at it this way, if you owe the taxman, let's say £100, and you don't give it, and they say now you owe £120, so reality is that you owe them £120. It's not like they're charging you for delayed payment, because you're not paying for something in exchange for something. It's money that you just owe them. So it's money that you just owe them. Like, you haven't borrowed money off them at all. So it's not really interest. So if you say to me, for instance, I'm gonna gift you £20 for Eid, and then I say to you, oh, you haven't given me that £20 for Eid, I want £25 now. Right? So that won't necessarily be interest. That won't be riba in that sense, Islamic. So there's a difference between when we say interest, in the English terms and Islamic terms. Okay, can this also be implemented when working for an organization that are dealing with interest? Can this also be implemented when working for an organization that deals with interest? Give me the scenario. If you give me the scenario, I'll be able to answer that. But otherwise, it's going to be difficult. Allah. Today you guys are on just interest questions, man. You guys just tax and interest. You'd have to give me a scenario. Like you've left it very open. So you'd have to give me a specific scenario so that I can answer your question. So give me a specific scenario. See, what happens is sometimes people think they have a question in their head, but in reality, that's not a specific question. You need to have like a specific question and then you can work from there. Okay, so for example, working for a bank, yeah, carry on. So working for a bank, so how so a bank, is all the money generated in a bank, is it all through interest? See, that's now, this is why we do something called tajzi'ah, yeah, which is you break down the question. You gotta kind of like refine the question. So is all the money in the bank interest? So generally the scholars would say no, because it's something which is, depending upon exactly what kind of duties the cashier has. Yeah, exactly. What are the duties of the cashier? Is it simply just taking people's money, putting it in the bank? How is it? So this is why when you ask questions about banks and things, you have to be very specific about your question. You can't just leave it general, because there's so many different types of descriptions when it comes to jobs. So what do they do behind the counter? Is that all they do? Do they just take money from people, or do they do more things as well? So you have to find out. So maybe you're not aware of what the cashier does. To you, it might just seem as though the cashier just sitting there and people just say money. But maybe there's other jobs they do as well. So you got to be specific exactly what job they do. This isn't me being picky. This is exactly how scholars will ask you how to answering their questions, or them answering your questions. They'll be very specific. You have to break down. You got to know what you. So if you're just like hypothetically just asking a question, then it wouldn't really be right for me to answer the question. You have to come up with a real scenario. Like if someone said, do aliens have to believe in Allah? The question is, are there aliens? And then if there are aliens, then what kind of, taklif, what kind of, responsibility do they have? Do they have understanding? Do they have... So the interest trade that takes place, the exact interest trade, then that would not be allowed. But now, in banks, there are so many varieties of jobs that you can find in the bank. Right? With any company now. Okay, what was the other one? Salam, these taxes collected are also used against Muslims attacking them in other countries. Is tax not class? The same question can be asked about living in Saudi Arabia and Saudi government attacking Yemen. Are you allowed in Saudi Arabia and Saudi government attacking Yemen? Are you allowed to live in Saudi Arabia? Are you allowed to pay the taxes there? Are you allowed to go for Hajj and Umrah? Yeah, well, if you're saying that living in this country and taxes, I would say the same about many Muslim countries. Because if you're using that logic, that the tax is going to be used, then I don't know how you're going to answer that. So a lot of people going for Umrah and Hajj, spending money over there, yeah, and they're buying weapons and killing innocent people in Yemen. I think that's a very sort of what's the word for it? It's an unrefined argument, that is. It's not very refined. It's a very kind of like, it just appeals to the emotions that they're attacking other countries, so our tax is going to them. First of all, if that's the argument, then we shouldn't be living in this. Okay, I want to understand, how does the concept of qisas work in injuries? For example, someone breaks another person's leg with a hammer. Would the injured person be Islamically allowed to do the same? Qisas can only be carried out if it is possible to do exactly the same on the other person. If it's not possible, then they have to give money, like blood money. Yeah. So, wounds, you can't do on wounds. You can only do cutting. So if you cut someone's limb off, they can cut the other person's limb off from that same spot. Otherwise, they can't. Yeah. So juruh qisas means the wounds is going to be qisas. In other words, retribution will be taken of the wounds. Another person is a small person and the cut is very long. But for the same size wound on bank, but you don't sell interest, you collect debt. Would that be jaiz? Help customers pay their debts. So you don't sell interest, you collect debt. Again, with these kind of questions, you've got to be more specific. I don't know how to make it clear. You need to be exactly specific with the terms and conditions of the job. Yeah, so you've got to be exactly specific. And I'm not being picky because, like I said, there are so many points you have to take into consideration with these kind of questions. Just like if someone asks, can you work in Asda where they stock pork, or where they, the cashier white swipes? There are so many considerations to be taken. Okay, salam is the word hayya ala salat and what? And what? And ta'zatu lillah. Ta'zatu lillah are of the same root. Hayya. Tahzatu. I don't know what that is. What's tahzatu? Tahzatu? Okay, a lot of people criticize rich people for doing Hajj and Umrah again and again when they could instead spend on the poor people, especially in countries like Pakistan. Is that a valid criticism? This is a good question. This is the problem with these kind of criticisms is that people will judge everyone according to their own understanding. Yeah. So, let's say, my earning is of a certain amount, and I look at someone who is earning a lot more, and they drive a car which is 10 times the value of my car. So I might think to myself, you know what, this person is doing excessive spending, extravagance. It's wrong. They shouldn't be doing it. Should be at my level, basically. They should be driving a car that I can drive. Yeah. Otherwise, they're spending too much. And this is wrong. This is because everyone is different. Everyone's luxuries are different. So if a person can do Hajj and Umrah, let them do Hajj and Umrah. Yeah, there's nothing haram. Yeah, it will be wrong if, for example, like they're not giving their zakat. They're doing Hajj and Umrah, but they're not giving their zakat. So if a person is not fulfilling the fard rights, the obligatory rights, then that is totally wrong. But if a person is fulfilling the obligatory rights that are upon themselves, then it's something which is fine. You can go Hajj and Umrah. Yeah. So is it fard for you to help all the poor people of the world? Not necessarily. It's not fard for you to help all the poor people of the world. Yeah, you should support them. It's highly recommended to support them, but it's not fard, because if it was fard, then that means us living our lives and even eating the food that we eat is all wrong. We should be, living off the bare minimum, and even our houses and everything should be bare minimum. Oh, okay, all right. So, alaikum assalam. Okay, tahiyyatu. Okay, tahiyya. At-tahiyyatu lillahi. Hayya ala salah. Hayya, no, it's not from the same tahiyya. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I can't remember exactly where it's from. I just have to go do a check. Yeah, it's a good question. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into Hayya ala Salah. Where is that from? Where's Hayya from? No, where's it? Who that is? Hayya, yeah. Same as Tahiyya.
No, Tahiyya is the fi'l.
Is it from the same root as?
Hayya is one of those words, isn't it? It's not really, hasn't really.
Yeah, it's unfair, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, hayya ala salat. It could possibly be from the same root meaning. I'll have to look it up. I don't really know it from the top of my head. But tahiyya, yeah, is from the word, to greet someone. Yeah. So I'll have to check that one up. So put it in the main comments, not on these comments, the main comments of the video, and if, when I get a chance, inshallah, I'll look it up. Okay, if a person bought clothes with haram money, can they keep them if they can't give them back now, as he has over 30 days return policy? What if they have a lot of clothes and other items, e.g. notebooks? Yeah, so if a person has used clearly absolutely haram money, right, then what they should do is the value of the things that they have bought, they should slowly through halal money give charity. Yeah, give it to the poor. So for example, let's say you've bought some clothes, it's worth £100 altogether with haram money. Money that you stole from someone, let's say. You clearly stole it from someone and you bought some clothes. So what you should do is either give the items away to charity, or the value of how much you spent, give that to charity. Or to the person that you've taken it from, if it's stolen. Okay, Assalam wa alaikum assalam, Tahmeed. I wanted to ask the difference between Nabi and Rasul. Your exams are over, bro. Yeah, so stop asking questions now. That's it. Your question account, you reach your, limit. You reach your limit in your questions. Even Mufti Imran said that. He said you reach your limit, yeah. Nabi and Rasul. There's like a whole 3 or 4 different opinions about what the difference between a Nabi and a Rasul is. Some say they're both the same. Every Nabi is a Rasul and every Rasul is a Nabi. Every prophet is a messenger, every messenger is a prophet. Some say no, every messenger is a prophet, but not every prophet is a messenger. Yeah? It's like a big circle comes inside a small circle. And some say that no, they're 2 opposite things. Nabis and Rasuls are 2 different things. Prophets come and they tell people about important things, and messengers come to transmit a message. They pass on a message. And some say no, the difference is that a Nabi who has a divine book that he's been given is called a Rasul as well. So these are the differences. Is Ism Fi'l Amr not root as opposed to Hayya, which comes from... okay, so Ism Fi'l Amr, you're saying it doesn't have a root word. Ism Fi'ls have root words. Every word in Arabic has a root word. It has to have a root word. It doesn't need root letters. Ism Fi'ls. I might disagree with that one. Okay, wa alaikum assalam Wadood. Can you address the fitna of Mufti Abu Layth is spreading about wearing earrings for males? He started wearing an earring recently, at least in his weekly lives. I mean, I haven't really researched this masala in the other madhabs to see what everyone says about it. According to Hanafis, it wouldn't be allowed. But to other madhabs, I wouldn't be able to speak about that until I've researched it thoroughly. Okay, wa alaikum assalam. But obviously, anything which is imitating women in any society is considered to be wrong. That's the main general kind of rule. Wa alaikum assalam. Mufti Khan, Hanafis pray Asr in Shafi, Hanbali mosque. Can we have a balanced approach? Yes, you can pray. It's fine. It's fine. Is that boss man Mufti Imran I hear in the background? Yes, it's him. It's him. Tahmeed asking. Okay, Muslim Night. Sheikh, can you give some tips for someone trying to study Awdatul Masalik and has a good grasp of Sharh Qatr al-Nada? Awdahul Masalik. Okay, I mean, once a person studies Nahu and they've reached a certain level of books, like if your person has studied something like Sharh Qatr al-Nada, the person should be, by now be writing Arabic sentences, right? And then, stuff like anything above Sharh Qatr al-Nada, studying stuff like Ibn Labib, Kafiya, Ibn Aqil, Awdah al-Masalik. All of these books are only there for like academic sort of like pursuits. They're not there to improve your nahu. So the books up to Qatr al-Nada should be there to improve your nahu, right? So I would say from now what you need to do is start writing Arabic. Start writing lots of Arabic, and then when you write lots of Arabic, then what happens is you begin to they'll study lots of books of nahu, 5-10 years of nahu. But why are they studying all that nahu for? And then they say, okay, I want to become a master of nahu. But then what are you going to do with become master of nahu? Yeah, why do you want to become master of nahu for? So if you just want to study nahu for the sake of nahu and just, before you die, know all of nahu, then alhamdulillah, it's good. So you achieve something. But I don't see that practical. Yeah, so, study that, and then after that, what you can study with Awdah al-Masalik, for instance, you can study something like, Sheikh Salih Samurai's, Father Salih Samurai's, Ma'ani al-Nahu. Yeah, on the side, study that. Or you can read that on your side. And maybe even Ibn Ya'ish, his commentary on Mufassal. Yeah, read that. Or An-Nahu al-Wafi. Nahu al-Wafi is very good as well. Yeah, so these are books that you read on the side. You don't need to study them. You just need to read them on the side, just like kind of like reference books, I would say. If you have paid your zakat for a year or two, is all the things you have bought with your money is not impure? This kind of concept of when scholars say that your money is zakat is a purification of your wealth. To say that if you don't give your zakat's impure, that's wrong. Yeah, your wealth is still pure, but what they're saying is that it's like you need to clean your wealth. Yeah, you need to achieve purity through your wealth. So the wealth is still pure, it's not haram. Just give your zakat whenever you get a chance. Okay, Muslim night. May Allah honor you, Shaykh. Ameen. Muslim night, may Allah honor you as well. You're welcome. If I've done this sabak and some sarf books, treasures of Arabic morphology, would I go on to next sarf and nahu? Also, what's a good beginner, intermediate nahu good to study with? Go on to Ajurumiyah. I would say go on to Ajurumiyah. That's a good way to start. Or Nahu al-Wadih, like a basic kind of book. I think that's a good way to start. Main thing is, a lot of students, what they do is they just want to become nahu, like drunk on nahu. That's wrong as well. So apply your nahu, a week or so. Read some Arabic text. Just read some Arabic text and just try to see if you can translate and pronounce the vowels correctly. That is a big thing on its own. And I think personally, if you spend 60% of your time doing that, 40% of your time focusing on nahu and sarf, like separate books, your Arabic will improve so quick, unbelievable. But your Arabic will improve so quick, unbelievable. But people, like I've seen some people, 8-9 years, they've been studying Arabic and nahu, and if you give them to read, they can't read it properly. So they know the rules, but they don't know the application. Okay, you missed my question. Which one was that? About the Hajj one. I explained that. Was it the Hajj one? The Hajj and Umrah? I spent a bit of time explaining that. Okay, Sheikh, if you can share a few words for tackling recurring sins, especially for things like pornography, which a lot of Muslims today suffer from. Okay, so when it comes to recurring sins, I'm not the best person to ask about recurring sins, because we all fall into recurring sins. No one's perfect. No sheikh or scholar or speaker, anyone's perfect. What I would say is this: is when it comes to a sin that you can't stop doing, you need to make yourself some sort of a strict sort of like promise that you're not gonna money box or something every time you commit that sin, a high amount that you're going to put into that amount, the box. Or maybe what you do is, I don't know, some people go a bit extreme in this kind of thing. Like one guy, I remember, he said, every time I commit a sin, I'm going to write that sin on a board at home in my house so everyone can see it. I think that's a bit extreme, that is. Yeah, it's a bit over the top. And especially we shouldn't expose our sins as well. The other thing is when there's a sin, the reason why there's a sin is because there's nothing that is, filling the vacuum. So if a person's got a problem with pornography, the problem is because he's got so much free time, or there's so much other things that a person does that they're gonna, or there's so much other things they can do and they're not doing, and they're ending up watching pornography. So get yourself a hobby, I would say, to anyone who's in this problem today. So get yourself a hobby, do something, spend your time, away from trying to get into the habit. Sometimes most people, when they get into pornography and things, it's because they're alone. So they're alone, no one else is there, and then shaitan, pull down the trap. So that's my advice. Okay, what book is for picking up lots of Arabic vocab? Again, why do you want to pick up lots of Arabic vocab? Should I read to pick up lots of vocab? Vocab is something you pick up as you're reading different things. So read books, start to read a book, buy yourself an Arabic, because that's how you're going to pick up vocab. Do not kind of get a dictionary and go through a dictionary. I think that's the worst kind of method. Which Arabic books are good to apply to the rules, qasas, and Arabic book? Any Arabic book you can use. You got like a whole books, series of books. For example, like Kamil. You can Google him. He's got lots of kids books, Arabic. Sheikh Ali At-Tantawi, he's got lots of books. Shawqi, Ahmad Shawqi, he's got lots of books as well. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Maryam Ummi Isa, is her communication with Jibreel Wahi? Okay, is the communication between Isa alayhi salam's mother and Jibreel salam Wahi? I don't know. That's the truth. I don't think anyone knows. There's no concrete sort of like ayah or evidence that the communication was Wahi, or was it verbal, as in, it seems as though the Quran that's saying that he came in the form of a human being, it seems as though it was that initial meeting where they met in Surah Maryam, it's mentioned, that was like a physical, like a human being, came in the form of a human being. So it seems as though that was a physical communication. According to hadith, it's forbidden for siblings to share a blanket when they reach a certain age. However, it's not practically possible all the time, plus some people can't afford that. I mean, the hadith mentions when they reach the age of 9 that you should separate them in the beds, and this is a very sort of like important ruling, so that the kids, they understand sexuality, and you don't want them to be experimenting things on each other. So it's very important to separate. You don't have to have a separate blanket. All you have to do is just separate the beds. Make a gap between the two. So put something in between them, just to show the importance of not being desensitized to the aura, sexual parts of the body. Because if kids become desensitized to sexual parts of the body, aura, when they grow up, they're gonna have a problem. Okay, thank you, Shaykh. I really hope this live sessions become popular. I think you are on the fact that these gaps need to be filled with people like yourself. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you, Muslim Knight. I would really love to know who you are, but your name sounds very heroic and brave. It gives me a lot of inspiration as well to ride a horse. Jazakallah khair for that. How do you understand this when this was my question? Okay, so that was the answer. MPI salam, my comments are coming up. Okay. Alaikum assalam. Okay, Umran. Wa alaikum assalam, Umran Ali. Alright, so anything else? I'm gonna go in a bit now. So if you have any last sort of like quick questions, as long as they're not about like when is Dajjal coming, or Ya Allah. Okay, so I think that's it. I think you guys have no more questions. I've fulfilled my haqq of answering your questions on YouTube. Jazakumullah khair. And I will inshallah, hopefully when I go Palestine, hopefully I'll get through, inshallah, make dua that I get through. And I'll be making some videos there as well. And I'll try to session on Surah Mulk, probably be able to do it over there, hopefully. So okay, final question. If you don't have much of a relationship, communication with your immediate family, when you decide to marry someone, do you have to say yes in front of your dad or brothers? If you don't have much of a communication with your family, do you have to say yes? I mean, the scholars say that if a woman is a virgin she doesn't have to say yes. She just has to kind of show some sort of sign of agreement. So if she says yes, then that's better. Yeah. So she doesn't have to even say yes, as long as she shows a sign that she's happy. Nod of the head, and some have even said even if she cries, like shows a tear of happiness, as long as she doesn't wail. If she wails, then that's a no. Yeah. And if the father can't understand the daughter wailing means no, then he needs someone to slap him. Okay. Another thing, I want to understand if someone having a conversation on WhatsApp, Skype, is that considered an amana, and in what circumstances can we share it with others? Yes, it's an amana. Yeah. So as long as you look at what is convention. So convention plays an important role here. So generally, do you think that if you had a conversation with someone on WhatsApp or on a social media closed group, do you think that would be considered to be a trust, that they wouldn't want other people to hear this? If so, then yes, al-majalis bil amana, you can't tell other people about it. But if it's done in such a way that it's open, in an open public, people don't mind. I'm on a couple of groups and they have lots of strict rules. Yeah, there's one group I'm on, it's got like some crazy strict rules from Mars, I think the rules are. And it's like you can't show any kind of share it with anyone else. So yeah, even if they give permission, you can't share it with anyone else. So I mean, it all depends. So yeah, amana, conversations are to be kept as trust. So this is why you should find out from always find out from the other person. Yeah. So if someone has a conversation and asks that other person, is it okay if I share this with someone else? If they say yeah, share it. Yeah. Otherwise, some people have a bad habit of screenshotting everything. Yeah. They'll see something, screenshot it, and they'll keep the names in there as well, everyone's names, and they'll share it with everyone, and then it's a bit embarrassing. So I think that's totally wrong. Okay. But who does she need to do this to if she isn't speaking terms with dad or bros? As long as they get the message, as long as the brother and dad get the message that she's happy with this marriage in whatever way, she can tell someone else as well. It's fine. Okay, Jazakallah khair. I think that's it. Thank you very much. I will see you all next time, inshallah. Remember your du'as. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.